Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and another budget-friendly meal prep video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but if you are looking for a way to save time and money and stick to your fitness goals, or maybe you're trying to go vegan, I truly believe that meal prepping is one of the best ways to do so. Before we jump in, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. And Skillshare, of course, is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone that wants to develop new skills, explore existing interests, and fuel your creativity. It's definitely one of the most productive ways to spend time on the internet because it helps you reach new goals and also connects you to like-minded people. The course I took recently is called Real Productivity, Create Your Ideal Week by the founder of Skillshare. This course delves into the productivity structure and the schedule that he uses himself. And I'm a weird sucker for looking at other people's process and how they go about scheduling their week and what their mindset is when it comes to making their schedule and how to be more productive. So they have tons of other courses on so many different topics that deal with productivity, creativity, business, and so much more. There's really no excuse to try it now because Skillshare is giving away 2 free months of premium membership to the first 1,000 people who click the link in the description box below. After those 2 months, it's only $10 a month to continue your premium membership, and that gives you access to all of their courses. So don't forget to check out Skillshare, and let's get on with our meal prep. So first thing I'm going to do is peel some potatoes. I realize I don't eat enough potatoes. I feel like potatoes are really good for me. I should be eating more. And they're also really cheap. It's amazing. And apparently they're very high in the satiety index. So if you eat potatoes, it keeps you full longer, which is pretty, it's pretty interesting to know. Okay. So I'm going to eat more potatoes. So anyways, I chopped up the potatoes. I'm going to throw them into a nice large mixing bowl. And I'm just going to add a small amount of oil. I'm using 1 teaspoon of oil for 2 medium-sized potatoes. And I'm just going to mix that up. For seasoning, I'm going to add some garlic salt and some black pepper. And while I'm mixing, I'll tell you a little bit about the whole satiety thing. So satiety is defined as the psychological and physiological experiences of fullness that come after eating or drinking. And apparently, potatoes rank very high compared to similar foods, over 3 times higher than white bread, and about 2.5 times higher than rice and pasta. Now, I'm not sure if that's brown rice, I'm not sure if that's whole wheat pasta, but still very interesting to know. So eat more potatoes, folks. So right now I'm just placing those lovely potatoes onto a lined baking sheet. And then in that same mixing bowl, I'm going to add some Brussels sprouts. These are frozen Brussels sprouts. I'm adding in a bit of oil once again, a small amount of oil. I'm just going to mix that up. And by the way, I did not mention this, but I'm basically just meal prepping with whatever I have, my friends. Okay? So there's really no rule here. I'm just using whatever I have. And here I just added some garlic salt once again. And we're going to place that on the other side of the same baking tray. And we're going to throw these into the oven. I have it preheated at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to move on to making some bean balls. I've got some black beans here. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of black beans into a food processor. We're going to process that and allow it to basically mash up together. If it's slightly chunky, that's totally fine. And in that same lovely mixing bowl that we used earlier, we don't have to wash it. Okay, it's nice and seasoned, so don't need to wash it. We're gonna throw in the mashed beans. By the way, this bean ball recipe is 5 ingredients. I know, I'm awesome. So here we go. We're gonna throw in some oat flour, which is basically just blended up oats, and the next ingredient is oats. So basically, it could just be 4 ingredients, since oats and oat flour are basically the same thing, just in different form. So the next ingredients are salsa and nutritional yeast. And that's it, my friends. Let's mix it together. And the secret really is in the salsa, because the salsa has the moisture that you're looking for and also the lovely flavors that you're looking for. So we're just going to mix that all together, and then we're going to form them into lovely little balls, okay? So I'm going to throw them into the oven, but you can feel free to use an air fryer. You can feel free to pan fry them. Feel free to do whatever you want with these things, okay? But since I was using the oven anyways, I just thought I would throw them into the oven. So these were thrown into the oven for 30 minutes, and I flipped them halfway and I baked them at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we can move on to our vegetables. Now I had this bok choy, this baby bok choy, and like half of it had gone bad, but I salvaged, okay? Because I am not about to waste food. Well, I wasted some of it, but you know, I can't eat, you know, gross bok choy that's gone bad. So anyways, so we're just gonna chop up whatever vegetables I have. So just use whatever you have, my friends. So right now we've got some mushroom. Mushrooms are not vegetables, I believe, but they are fungi, okay? But I mean, I kind of count them as a vegetable. So we're just gonna chop them up. Next, we've got some broccoli, and we've also got some cabbage. I'm really just using what I had at that moment and what I needed to use up. It's a great thing to use up your vegetables, guys. Try not to waste. And the last thing I'm chopping, some onions. We're just gonna dice some onions. I just feel like in a stir fry, you need some onion, okay? And then we've got a large wok. I'm heating that up. I added in a spray of oil. And then we are going to start with the onion and the mushroom. So we're just going to cook that up a little bit. I'm going to brown the mushroom a little bit before adding in other vegetables. So now that the onions are fragrant, the mushrooms are starting to brown, we can add in the rest of the vegetables. I'm also going to add in some minced garlic because garlic is delicious and it's amazing. So we're just going to add that. And we're just going to cook that until the veggies are cooked. And once the veggies are cooked, you can use whatever seasonings that you want. I'm just going to add in some lemon and herbs seasoning. This is already salted, so it just is an easy way to season the veggies. In the meantime, I decided to make a nice marinara sauce just very quickly. And I'm going to start with some garlic. Once again, I add a little oil on the pan here. And I have some minced garlic. If you guys don't know the garlic hack, I'll link my video below. It's a cooking hacks video for lazy people. It really is the best way to always have minced garlic on hand in your fridge at all times. So here I'm just adding a little splash of water because sometimes you just need to add a splash of water. Okay, so here I have a small can of tomato paste and we're going to add that to the pan here. And let's also add some water. And then we're going to mix this well. Now, to mix this well, I like to actually use a whisk. So I switched to a whisk. It's just easier, it's faster, and it mixes things more thoroughly. For seasoning, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to use some Italian seasoning, which is basically a mixture of different seasonings. You can use basil, you can use oregano, you can use Italian, you can use whatever you want. And I also like to add a couple of bay leaves in there as well. It really enhances the flavor. So we're just going to mix it well. And the next part is mandatory for myself, but optional for others. We're going to add in a nice splash of red wine, my friends, and that's really going to enhance that flavor and make it so nice and rich and delicious. Next, I'm going to add in some garlic salt as well as some sugar, just a small amount of both, and then we're going to mix it and we're going to cover it up and we're going to cook it on a low heat for about 20 minutes or so. At this point, my bean balls were finished, so I took them out of the oven while the potatoes and Brussels sprouts were still cooking. So these are the finished bean balls, and you can do whatever you want with these, really. Just enjoy them, okay? Enjoy them as part of whatever meal. So there you go. Next, we're going to make another type of sauce so that we have a little variation here. So I'm going to make a tahini dressing, and this is a dressing I make pretty often, at least some sort of variation of this. I like to make it often because it's really good and it's versatile. You can use it for a lot of different things. So here we have some tahini, we have agave nectar, we have lemon juice, some soy sauce, garlic powder, nutritional yeast, and we are going to mix that really well. And it's going to be super thick or not so thick depending on the tahini that you use. And mine was like not too thick, so I'm just going to add in 1 tablespoon of water. And it's going to thicken up over time as well if you leave it in the fridge. So just feel free to add in little splashes of water if it does thicken up. And yes, I like to keep this in the fridge and just eat it with whatever. It goes really well with like Buddha bowls or with just like vegetables or whatever. And then I decided to cook up this black bean fettuccine, which is a high protein pasta, and I've had this in my pantry for a while. So I cooked that up so I could eat it throughout the week. And what I love about these high protein pastas is that they're high protein, yay! So that it helps you keep fuller for a longer time as well. And if you're trying to grow some muscle, of course, it's great for that. And yeah, so I cooked that up and I just spread that across my meals. And then now I'm just gonna basically place everything I have into different containers. You can mix and match, guys. You can mix and match however way you'd like. Here, I wasn't being like super creative, but you can definitely, you know, maybe cook up some brown rice, mix things up with that. You could use the potatoes as your main source of carb in the meal. What I usually like to do is have some sort of a high protein source, some sort of a healthy carbohydrate, and some sort of vegetables in the meal. And ideally, you want to also have maybe a little bit of healthy fat in there as well. The tahini dressing works great for some healthy fats. And yeah, I'm not a nutritionist though, so don't listen to anything I just said. Don't take this as nutritional or dietary advice, my friends. I'm just showing you how to make some simple meals. So I'm just going to place the potatoes in one container and just eat them throughout the week whenever I feel like it. And there's my very simple meal prep. Nothing too complicated, very affordable ingredients. And, you know, you can always mix and match. Like I said, you can make something else with it. You can make another sauce. So we've got the two different kinds of sauces. We've got the marinara sauce, which goes great, obviously, with the pasta and the bean balls, but the tahini dressing also goes really great as well. So again, just be creative, do whatever you want to do, and enjoy, guys. Now we've got some nutritious, delicious meals for the week. You don't have to think about every single meal, making every single meal from scratch every day, and this just makes your life so much easier. And that's it for my simple meal prep video. If you enjoyed this video, guys, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, of course, please subscribe. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video once again. If you guys want to check them out, the link is down below for you to get 2 months for free. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!